Mr. Chairman. Thank you for this hearing. I want to thank all our witnesses for being here today, and I do look forward to talking about the whistleblower issue, in particular the whistleblower, the anonymous whistleblower with no firsthand knowledge, who had a bias against the president and who worked with Joe Biden that became the basis for what now our country has lived through for 4 months. I look forward to getting into that issue and this idea of anonymity versus any type of retaliatory action and those issues. But there's also another issue that is important. It's been over 6 weeks since Inspector General Horowitz released his report detailing the FBI's illegal surveillance of President Donald Trump's campaign back in 2016. 6 weeks since the Inspector General published his findings that the FBI illegally spied on then-candidate Trump. We know it was illegal spying because the Justice Department admitted it. Just last week, the FBI admitted that they didn't have evidence for at least 2 warrants on the Trump campaign. Inspector General Horowitz, we are glad that you're here. But for the life of me, I can't imagine why this committee, the committee that has direct jurisdiction over the Inspector Generals, would not call you to testify about the serious FBI abuses that you uncovered. It's been 6 weeks since you published your 400-plus page report about the FBI abusing the FISA court to spy on the Trump campaign, and our chair has still yet not invited you to speak. Think about what the FBI did. They went to a secret court to get a search warrant to spy on the presidential campaign in America. They did it. This is what the FISA judge, Rosemary Collier, said just last month, December 17, 2019, quote, "The frequency with which representations made by FBI personnel turned out to be unsupported or contradicted by information in their possession and with which they withheld information detrimental to their case calls into question whether information contained in other FBI applications is reliable." Put that in plain English. You guys screwed up so much. How can we trust any other representation you've made to the court? That's what the FISA court judge said last week in response to Mr. Horowitz's 400-plus page report. Think about what was going on here. The FBI's basis in asking the court to spy on the Trump campaign was, quote, unsupported or contradicted by information in their possession. The FBI had evidence that members of the Trump team were innocent, and they held that back from the court. Remember, they got the initial application, the initial warrant, and then they did 3 renewals. Didn't tell the court important information in those renewal applications. The report is so unbelievable, you could not even make some of this stuff up for a TV show. No American suspects things like this occur. An FBI lawyer fabricated an email to support a warrant on the Trump campaign. The FBI was doing this to a presidential candidate. Think about what they could do to regular Americans. And that's why Judge Collier ordered the FBI to begin reviewing other applications. And we still have not had a FISA hearing, either here or maybe more importantly in the Judiciary Committee. Chairman Nadler is yet to call a hearing. This is a whistleblower hearing. It's an important issue that I'm looking forward to discussing, but I will also take this opportunity, as I said earlier, to ask a few questions about Inspector General Horowitz's findings in his report. The chair told us earlier this month that the Inspector General has already testified before the Senate and that his presence before our committee is unnecessary. Since when did the Oversight Committee say, oh, if the Senate's doing it, we don't have to have a hearing? I have never heard that. In my 13 years in Congress, never heard that. And imagine if it was reversed. Imagine if Inspector General Horowitz uncovered the FBI fabricating emails to spy on candidate Clinton. Bet you the Democrats would be having hearings in this committee. We'd already had several, both in this committee and the Judiciary Committee. So this is important stuff, and I look forward to dealing with all these issues in this setting, and I want to thank our witnesses, in particular Inspector General Horowitz, for your work and for being here today. And with that, Mr. Chairman, I yield back.